Hi guys, Robbie46 here, welcome to the race results and analysis from yesterday's MotoGP race at Jerez. It was Valentino Rossi on pole position. He's been doing well in qualifying this year. The Michelin's definitely serving him well in qualifying. He's got his first pole position of the year. He was followed by Jorge Lorenzo in second place and Marc Marquez in third place on the grid. Off the line, Rossi got a perfect start. Led into the first corner. Lorenzo slotted in to second place and Marquez into third, although Marquez was quickly overtaken by his teammate Dani Pedrosa momentarily. Maverick Vinales not getting the best of starts, neither did Andrea Iannone, pulled a massive wheelie off the line. It was Rossi who was battling with Lorenzo. Lorenzo tried to overtake Rossi, but then Rossi immediately re-overtook Lorenzo as Lorenzo went wide, and that was the last time that anyone would see Rossi. He started to build up a decent gap after a few laps, up to half a second and beyond. Like I said, Pedrosa did momentarily get ahead of Marc Marquez, but Marquez got him back, and Pedrosa started dropping back quite a lot from Lorenzo and Marquez. Marquez was right on the back of Lorenzo, not being able to overtake or attempt an overtake. He stayed behind Lorenzo for quite a while. A bit further back, we had Scott Redding, who was unfortunately having quite a few issues, and he was dropping through the pack like a stone. Eugene Lavity, he was up to 7th place at one point, doing really well. You had Andrea Dovizioso, he was in the top 5 as well, but unfortunately more bad luck for Andrea Dovizioso. During the race he was in, I think, 6th place at the time, and he started having some really weird moments with his rear tyre. Eugene Lavity caught him up and could see that the rear of Dovi's bike was just twitching all over the place and looking really violent, spitting out smoke. Eugene did indicate to Dovi that he had a problem with the rear of his bike, because Eugene caught him really quickly. And unfortunately Dovi had to retire from the race, which wasn't good for him. Obviously he's not having the best of luck this season, and that just adds to it. So a problem with the rear of the Ducati meant that Dovi had to retire. Alvaro Bautista was the other non-finisher. Only 2 non-finishers this week. He crashed on his Aprilia. The Aprilias with their new upgrades are looking a lot more competitive now. They were doing really well in qualifying, but unfortunately Bautista did crash his Aprilia early in the race. Back at the front, Rossi was easing out his lead up to 2 seconds. Marquez was still right behind Lorenzo. And Dani Pedrosa was now being caught by Alicia Spargaro, who was up into 5th place. And Maverick Vinales was looking like he was going to catch Alicia. He was in 6th place, and Andrea Iannone was starting to move his way through Cal Crutchlow, Paul Espargaro, Eugene Lavity. He was in that pack, as was Hector Barbera. And Andrea Iannone getting the better of all of those riders towards the end of the race. With 10 laps to go, it was looking like Jorge Lorenzo was going to start reeling in Valentino Rossi. He started going half a second quicker than Rossi on one of his laps, and then the next lap he was going quicker still, not as much as half a second, but he was still taking time out of Rossi. The gap before that lap was actually at like 2.8 seconds, but it come back down to 2 seconds. It's looking like Lorenzo was going to be able to catch Rossi, but it wasn't meant to be, because Rossi picked his pace back up and Lorenzo's pace started dropping, and the gap soon went up over 3 seconds. Although Lorenzo was pulling away from Marquez now. Marquez quite a way back behind Lorenzo. He was about 3 seconds behind Lorenzo. Dani Pedrosa, he was having a lonely race. He was pulling away from Alicia Spargaro, but not being able to catch up with his teammate as he did in the opening laps of the race. Bradley Smith not having a great weekend either. Struggled in qualifying and struggled in the race. He was outside the top 10 throughout the whole race. But as I did mention, Scott Redding, he was struggling throughout the whole race, and he actually dropped to last place, which was 19th place after we lost Dovizioso and Bautista. But over the line, it was Valentino Rossi who took the win. He got the set, he got pole position, fastest lap of the race, and of course the race win. Jorge Lorenzo was 2.3 seconds back after Rossi done a massive wheelie over the line. So Lorenzo got second place and Marc Marquez came home in third. Daniel Pedrosa, a lonely fourth place for him. Alicia Spargo managed to hold off Maverick Vinales for fifth place, and Vinales came home in sixth. Andrea Iannone, although we did have to fight for to get to the front of that pack, he ended up in seventh place, top Ducati, followed by Pol Espargaro in eighth. Eugene Laverty, a very strong ride from him, he ended up in ninth. Good top 10 for him. He was just ahead of Hector Barbera, who was in 10th place. The GP 14.2 Ducatis, they're not doing too bad. I know that they didn't work at all with they really struggled with the Bridgestone tyres, but I'm starting to think that maybe the 14.2s actually, they're working a lot better with the Michelins of what they did the Bridgestone. So maybe Ducati was maybe just a bit ahead of themselves when they developed the 14.2. Cal Crutchlow, 11th place for him. Obviously not where he wants to be, but he did finish the race this time. Bradley Smith, again, not a very good weekend for him, in 12th place. Loris Baz, a pretty good finish from him in 13th, followed by Stefan Bradl on the Aprilia. He was 14th, so 2 points for him. And Yoni Hernandez gets in the points as well in 15th place. Michele Pirro still replacing Petrucci. Petrucci will be back in 2 weeks' time for Le Mans. Pirro got 16th. Jack Miller was 17th. Tito Rabat 18th. And Scott Redding really struggling. He was 19th. So, Rossi taking the win in that race. And that is definitely closed the championship up. So Marquez still leads the championship with 82 points, but Lorenzo has closed up with 65 points, and Rossi has closed up as well with 58 points. So Rossi just 7 points behind his teammate. Lorenzo is 17 points behind Marquez. So it's all to play for. Can't wait to see what happens at the next race at Le Mans. Just a quick mention. Another great ride of the day. I mean, we had good results in all races. Sam Lowes winning in Moto2, showing his dominance in that class after fighting with Jonas Folger for a little bit. And Brad Binder, who had a great race after being demoted to the back of the grid for an illegal engine map in his setting. He started dead last and he went on to win the race. And now, if you haven't seen the Moto3 race, do yourself a favour and go and check that out, because it is definitely worth a watch. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!